What's up, it's Sam Walker here with Ringside Intel, and let's jump right into our UFC 303 predictions. The main event features light heavyweight champion Alex Pereira defending his belt against the former champion Jiri Procházka in a rematch. These guys just fought less than a year ago, so I honestly don't think this is going to be that different from the first time around. The first time around, Jiri Procházka lost via TKO in the second round, and I kind of see that happening again, but I think it plays out a little longer this time. As he's shown plenty of times throughout his career, and definitely at UFC 300 when he fought Alexander Rakic, Jiri Procházka is a guy who sort of has to get through the danger zone in order to do what he likes to do. He likes to initiate brawls, and he has to take punishment in order to get in that range and in order to enact this style of game plan. Against Poatan, this doesn't feel like a recipe for success. He's able to deal a lot of damage, and he's also very patient. So this is not the person that you want to just have to take some free shots off in order to do what you got to do. I do think it lasts a little bit longer, but I don't think the end result is going to be much different. Give me Alex Pereira to successfully defend and get the finish, probably in the third round. The co-main event features a very interesting fight at featherweight between Brian Ortega and Diego Lopez. I'm really of mixed minds with this one because Brian Ortega is definitely one of the most skilled fighters that's on the roster and has been ever since he joined the UFC roster, and his striking has improved dramatically to match these incredible world-class jiu-jitsu skills. Diego Lopez isn't exactly that skilled. I mean, he's obviously very skilled, but he doesn't exactly hit the mark the way T-City does. Now, I do think, though, that his aggression and his power is what's going to make the difference here when you combine that with the amount of damage that Ortega has taken over his career. When we're talking about Brian Ortega, we're also talking about a guy who has been through a ton of wars and someone who, throughout a lot of his victories, had to endure hell to get there. I don't think this is the right style for him to be facing at this. I wouldn't put it past Ortega to find some really sneaky opportunistic submission or to, engage in a striking match at range and be able to get the better of him with a really killer jab and sneaky power that he has. But I just don't feel that's going to happen. I think Lopez is going to get in his face, land a couple hard shots, and then we'll start seeing that damage from those years of competition really show in his face. I think Ortega survives to a decision, but I don't think that decision goes his way. Give me Diego Lopez. Third down, we have Anthony Smith taking on Roman Dolidze. Now, I do think it's important to note that this is Roman's return to light heavyweight. Short notice replacement, a lot of shuffling around the deck in order for this fight to happen in this iteration. Roman has the power to finish this. Anthony Smith has definitely been on the wrong side of a lot of wars and some very nasty knockouts. I see Roman coming out there pretty aggressively and trying to put his power on there and establish success from the early goings. However, I think if Smith can endure that, then he has the chance to really apply that veteran savvy and also showcase that he is the better fighter from a technical standpoint. I think Anthony Smith gets it done by decision. We also have Mayra Bueno Silva taking on Macy Chiasson. This fight probably is not going to be the most entertaining. I think Chiasson is going to try to use her superior size, superior reach, in whichever way she chooses, right? I mean, with the extended reach, she can try to keep it a striking battle at range, but she likes to wrestle people as of late, especially. I think she's going to try to bully Silva and use that bigger size in order to wear her down. The problem is those long limbs get very easy to get tangled up and very easy to lock into a submission if you're someone as skilled in jiu-jitsu as Silva is. So I do think somehow she finds a way to grab one of those limbs and pull it until she gets the tap. I see Silva locking up a submission probably in the second or third round. The main card opens with a welterweight fight between Michael Venom Page and Ian Machado Gary. This is a very, very interesting fight on paper. These are two men renowned for their kickboxing ability, and they have enough of a highlight reel between both of them to show just exactly why the UFC probably wanted to open the pay-per-view with some serious action. That being said, I think, as is the case a lot of times when you're facing Michael Venom Page, action is not your friend necessarily. Gary is probably a good enough wrestler to at least slow down MVP. The only thing is, I don't think Gary wants to do that. I mean, Gary is a striker at heart, and this feels like a kickboxing match to me, and I think that's what's going to play out there. And much like Kevin Holland, maybe he realizes at a certain point that, hey, this isn't the best idea, and he tries to go for that wrestling and tries to go for that clinch work. He discovers that MVP is hard to keep down and hard to submit and hard to control in the clinch. And then it'll be too late. I think he exposes himself to the incredible counter-striking abilities that MVP possesses, and I think that's going to be his downfall. I do think he survives, but it's not going to go his way. MVP wins the decision. And that will do it for the UFC 303 main card predictions. Remember to like, subscribe, share, tell a friend to tell a friend, tell that friend to tell 10 more friends. Stay locked into Ringside Intel. I'm Ant Walker. Peace.